Humanity refused to kneel and burned the Empire's stars to ash. Part 1. The sky turned dark over Washington, D.C. as the massive ships blocked the sun. People stopped in the streets and looked up. Cars crashed. Phones stopped working. The world went silent for one long minute. Alan Wright watched from the roof of the White House. As the chief advisor to the president, he had been called up when the first objects appeared near the moon just 12 hours ago. Now these ships, each bigger than a city, hung over every major capital on Earth. "Mr. Wright, they're sending a message," said a young woman from the communications team. Her hands shook as she held out a tablet. The message was simple. "Prepare your leaders. The Zarkarian Empire claims this world. You have 24 hours to surrender." Alan looked back at the sky. "Get me the president." 6 hours later, the United Nations building in New York was packed with world leaders who had been flown in on emergency flights. The President of the United States sat next to Alan, her face tight with worry. "Do we have any options?" she asked quietly. Admiral Liz Powell stepped up to the microphone. She was in charge of Earth's combined military forces, but right now she looked small under the weight of what was happening. "The alien ships have technology far beyond ours," she said. Her voice echoed in the silent room. "Our best weapons can't even touch their shields. We've tried." The room filled with worried whispers. "What about talking to them?" asked the leader of Japan. "Maybe they just want trade or knowledge." Alan stood up. "We've tried sending messages in every way we can think of. They only sent back one reply: prepare for inspection." The doors at the back of the room opened. Everyone turned to see 3 tall figures walk in. They had gray skin that looked like metal and 4 arms each. Their eyes were black with no white parts, and they moved in perfect steps. The one in front spoke in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Crox of the Zarkarian Empire. We claim this world as our property. Your species will serve." No one spoke for a long moment. Then the president stood up. "We welcome you to Earth, Ambassador. But this world is our home. We don't serve anyone." The alien made a sound like metal grinding. It might have been a laugh. "You misunderstand. This is not a request. The Empire needs workers and resources. Your planet has both. Those who accept our rule will live. Those who fight will die." Alan watched as the president's face turned red with anger. "We are not slaves," she said. "We will talk as equals or not at all." The alien's black eyes seemed to grow darker. "You have 24 hours to surrender. After that, we start removing problems." The 3 aliens turned and left the room. "They're going to kill us all," said the British Prime Minister at the emergency meeting 2 hours later. "Not if we strike first," said the Russian president. "We have nuclear weapons." Admiral Powell shook her head. "We already tried a test missile. Their ships shot it down from space before it was even close, and they didn't even seem to notice." Alan was looking at his phone. He had just gotten a text message from a number he didn't know. It said, "I can help. Meet me at the Lincoln Memorial. Come alone. NG." He slipped out of the meeting room while everyone was arguing. The Lincoln Memorial was empty, except for one man sitting on the steps. He was short with messy black hair and glasses. He wore a lab coat even though it was warm outside. "Mr. Wright," the man said, standing up. "I'm Dr. Nathan Garcia. I work for a secret government lab." Alan shook his hand. "How do you think you can help with aliens?" Nathan looked around to make sure no one was listening. "Because we've been expecting them. Not these exact aliens, but some aliens. We found something on Mars 20 years ago." Alan stared at him. "What are you talking about? There was never any announcement about finding anything on Mars. It was kept secret. It was a piece of technology, a weapon. It was left there by someone who fought these same aliens a long time ago." Alan felt his heart beat faster. "Does it work?" Nathan smiled a little. "We think so. It creates a special kind of energy that disrupts their technology, but we've never tested it on a real ship." "How did you know these would be the same aliens?" "The weapon had symbols on it. The same symbols that are on the alien ships now." Nathan pulled out his phone and showed Alan two pictures side by side. The strange curved marks were identical. "Why are you telling me this and not the military?" Alan asked. "Because the military would just try to blow them up. This isn't about fighting. It's about showing the aliens we have the same weapon that hurt them before. It might make them leave without a fight." Alan thought for a minute. "Can you get this weapon here by tomorrow?" Nathan nodded. "It's already on its way." The next day, leaders from around the world gathered in an open field outside of New York. The biggest alien ship hung above them, dark and threatening. Ambassador, Crocs, and 5 other aliens stood across from the humans. Between them was a table with a simple piece of paper. "Sign," said Crocs. "Agree that Earth now belongs to the Empire, or we start removing your cities." The Secretary General of the UN, Samantha Reeves, stepped forward. She was a tall woman with gray hair who had worked for peace her whole life. "We have a different offer," she said. She nodded to Alan. Alan opened a metal case. Inside was what looked like a small glass ball with swirling blue light inside it. The alien stepped back quickly. "Where did you get that?" Crocs's voice wasn't smooth anymore. It sounded scared. "We've had it for a long time," Alan lied. "We know what it does to your ships. We have more of them, many more." The aliens spoke to each other in their language, which sounded like music, played on metal strings. "You're lying," said Crocs, but he didn't sound sure. Alan put his hand over the ball. The blue light got brighter. "Would you like to test it?" The aliens backed up more. The other human leaders looked confused, but nobody spoke. After a long silence, Crocs said, "This changes our plans. We will leave your solar system for now, but the Empire does not forget." "Neither does humanity," said Samantha Reeves, her voice strong and clear. "Remember that." The aliens returned to their ship. Within an hour, all the ships around Earth started to move away. In the field, people cheered and hugged each other. But Alan and Nathan watched the sky with worried faces. "Will they come back?" Alan asked. "Yes," said Nathan. "And next time they won't be scared so easily. We need to learn how to use this weapon for real, and we need to make more." Alan nodded. "How long do we have?" Nathan looked up at the stars. "Not long enough." Humanity refused to kneel, and burned the Empire's stars to ash. Part 2. 6 months passed since the Zarkarian ships left Earth. The world had changed. Countries that once fought each other now worked together. Everyone knew the aliens would come back and they would be angry. Dr. Nathan Garcia worked day and night in his lab under the mountains in Colorado. The alien weapon they had found on Mars was still a mystery. Nathan and his team could make it glow and hum, but they didn't know how to use it as a real weapon. "Any progress?" asked Alan Wright as he entered the lab. He looked tired. He hadn't slept well since the aliens left. Nathan shook his head. "We can make it turn on, but we don't know how to aim it or make it stronger." Alan sat down heavily. "We need more time." "We don't have more time," said a voice from the door. Admiral Liz Powell walked in. Her uniform was clean, but her eyes were worried. "Our deep space radar just picked up ships. Hundreds of them. They'll be here in 3 days." Nathan's face went white. 3 days? We need weeks, maybe months to figure this out. "Then we need a new plan," said Alan. "We need to buy time." All around the world, people looked up at the night sky. They could see the alien ships now, small points of light getting bigger each hour. News stations showed the same images over and over. Families packed bags and drove to the countryside, hoping to be safe. In New York, Samantha Reeves addressed the United Nations again. "Last time we tricked them," she said. "We made them think we had weapons that could hurt them. This time they won't believe our tricks. We need to be ready to fight." The room was quiet. Everyone knew Earth's weapons were no match for the alien ships. "What do we have?" asked the leader of China. Admiral Powell stepped up. "We've built bunkers under major cities. We've moved food and supplies underground. We can save millions of people, but not everyone." "And weapons?" asked the Russian leader. "We've improved our missiles, but tests show they still can't get through the alien shields." Samantha Reeves stood up. Then we need to try something else. Not military power, but human spirit. Humanity does not kneel. We fight even when we can't win. The first attack came at dawn. The Zarkarian ships didn't target cities at first. They destroyed military bases, power plants, and communication towers. Millions lost power. Phones went silent. The internet stopped working in many places. Then came the ground troops. They weren't like the tall, four-armed ambassadors. These were machines, walking metal shaped like big insects. They came out of smaller ships and marched through cities and towns. In Chicago, Colonel Jack Howard led a group of soldiers against the machines. They used everything they had, guns, rockets, even cars. They crashed into the metal creatures. The machines kept coming. "Fall back!" Jack shouted as another building exploded behind him. His team ran into the subway tunnels under the city. The machines followed, but they were too big for some of the smaller tunnels. Jack's radio crackled. It was one of the few working in the city. "Colonel, this is Dr. Garcia. We found something. The alien machines put out a signal. It's like they talk to each other. If we can copy this signal, maybe we can confuse them." Jack looked at his team. They were tired and hurt, but still ready to fight. "Tell us what to do, Doc." Under the sea, near Japan, Commander Maya Patel sat in her submarine. The USS Defiance was one of the few military vehicles that still worked well. The aliens didn't seem to notice things under the water. "Captain, we're getting a message from command," said her radio operator. Maya took the radio. "This is Commander Patel. Commander, this is Admiral Powell. We need your help. The aliens have set up a base in Tokyo Bay. Our satellites show they're building something big. We need to know what it is." Maya thought for a moment. It would be dangerous to get close to an alien base, but they needed information. "We'll do it," she said. "But we'll need a distraction." In his lab, Nathan worked with a new team member, Olivia Chen. She was young but brilliant, a computer expert who had been studying the alien signals. "If we can make our own signal that looks like theirs, we can give them false orders," Olivia said. "Maybe even make them attack each other." Nathan nodded. "But we need to be close to them to send the signal, and we need the right frequency." Olivia smiled. "That's why we have spies." In what used to be Tokyo, a man named Ben Foster walked through the ruins. He looked like a homeless person, dirty and thin. The alien machines ignored him as he dug through trash. But Ben was not homeless. He was a spy, part of a global network of watchers who kept track of the aliens. In his ragged coat, he carried a small device that recorded the alien signals. When night fell, Ben snuck away from the city. A small boat was waiting for him at a hidden dock. As he climbed in, he saw the submarine rise from the water. "The USS Defiance, did you get it?" asked Commander Patel as Ben came aboard. He handed her the device. 3 days of signals, and I saw what they're building. It's not a weapon. It's a portal, a door to bring more ships directly to Earth without having to travel through space." Maya's face hardened. "Then we need to destroy it before it's finished." Ben looked tired. "How? We can't even stop their smallest machines." "We have a plan," said Maya, "but it's dangerous, and we'll need volunteers." In Colorado, Alan Wright watched as Nathan and Olivia worked on their signal device. It was connected to the alien weapon they had found on Mars. "Will it work?" Alan asked. Nathan didn't look up from his work. "Maybe. The weapon creates energy that disrupts their technology. If we can send that energy through their own network, using their own signals, it could shut down all their machines at once," Olivia finished. Alan nodded. "How long?" "A few more days," said Nathan. "If we're lucky." But luck was not on their side. The lab's alarms suddenly went off. On the screens, they could see alien ships approaching. "They found us," said Alan. "They know what we're doing." Nathan grabbed the weapon and their signal device. "We need to get out of here, now. If they destroy this, humanity has no chance." As they ran for the emergency exit, the mountain above them shook with the first explosions. Humanity refused to kneel and burned the Empire's stars to ash. Part 3. The mountain shook again as Alan, Nathan, and Olivia ran through dark tunnels. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. "This way," Alan said, pointing to a small door. "There's a train system that will take us deep underground." They rushed through the door just as the ceiling behind them collapsed. The noise was like thunder. They could hear alien machines digging through the rocks above. "Did everyone else get out?" Olivia asked, trying to catch her breath. Alan checked his phone. It still worked in the tunnels. Most of the staff evacuated. Some stayed to destroy the data so the aliens can't get it. Nathan held the alien weapon close to his chest. It glowed softly in the dark tunnel. They gave their lives to protect this. We can't let them down. They reached a small train that looked like a mining cart with seats. Alan started the engine, and they shot into the darkness of the tunnel. On the other side of the world, Commander, Maya Patel prepared her submarine for an attack on the alien portal in Tokyo Bay. "We have 6 torpedoes," she told her crew. "They're loaded with special explosives that might damage the portal's energy field." "Will it be enough?" asked her second-in-command. Maya looked at the map of Tokyo Bay. Red dots showed where alien machines patrolled. "I don't know, but we have to try. If that portal opens, thousands more ships will come through." Her radio crackled. "Commander, this is Colonel Howard. My team is in position near Tokyo. We'll create a distraction on land when you're ready." Maya nodded to herself. "We'll be ready at dawn." In what used to be the White House, now a burned-out shell, a group of resistance fighters gathered in the basement. They had radios and old computers that still worked. Sam Miller, once a high school teacher, now led this group. He had lost his family when the aliens bombed his town. All he had left was anger and a need to fight back. "We've got a message from Admiral Powell," he told the others. "They're going to try something big. All resistance groups need to attack alien patrols at the same time, all over the world." "When?" asked a young woman named Kelly Ford. She had been a nurse before the invasion. Sam checked his watch. 12 hours from now. We need to spread the word." In the underground train, Alan, Nathan, and Olivia finally stopped at a hidden station. They were deep under the Rocky Mountains now, in a place the aliens wouldn't find easily. They stepped into a large cave that had been turned into a backup lab. Other scientists who had escaped were already there, setting up equipment. "How long? Until we can test the signal?" Alan asked. Nathan placed the alien weapon on a table. "With this equipment, maybe 2 days." "We might not have 2 days," Olivia said, checking her tablet. "Look at this." She showed them a map of Earth. Red dots covered most of it, showing alien activity. But new dots were appearing in space around the moon. "More ships," Alan said quietly. "They're bringing more." Nathan's face was grim. "Then we work faster." Colonel Jack Howard and his team moved through the ruins of Tokyo at night. They were a small group, just 20 soldiers, but they were skilled and determined. "The submarine will attack the bay at dawn," Jack told them. "We need to draw as many alien machines away from the water as possible." A soldier named Pete Ryan raised his hand. "How do we do that with just 20 people?" Jack smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. "We have something they want." He opened a case. Inside was a small piece of technology that looked like the alien weapon from Mars. "Is that real?" asked another soldier. "No," said Jack. "It's a fake, but it gives off the same energy signal. The aliens will think we have another weapon. They'll send everything they have to get it." "And we'll all die," said Pete. Jack nodded. "Probably, but the submarine will destroy the portal. It's worth it." The team was quiet. Then Pete stood up, straighter. "Let's do it." In the submarine, Maya checked the time. 1 hour until dawn. Her crew was ready. The torpedoes were set. "Commander," said her radio operator, "we're getting a message from the resistance in what used to be the White House. They say all groups around the world are ready." Maya nodded. "Good. And the distraction team?" "In position." Maya looked at her crew. They were young, scared, but brave. "This is it. If we can destroy this portal, we buy time for Dr. Garcia to finish his work. We might save humanity today." In the underground lab, Nathan worked without sleep. His eyes were red, his hands shook, but he kept going. Olivia sat next to him, writing code for the signal device. "I think I've got it," Nathan said suddenly. "The weapon doesn't just disrupt their technology. It sends out a kind of virus that spreads from one machine to another." Olivia looked up from her screen. "Like a computer virus?" "Yes, but for their quantum technology. If we can send it through their communication network, it could spread to all their machines." Alan, who had been talking to military leaders, came. "How do we start it?" Nathan pointed to the map. "We need to get close to one of their main communication towers, the ones they've built on tall buildings in major cities." "They're heavily guarded," Alan said. "I know. But if we can connect to just one, the virus will spread." Alan was quiet for a moment. "The attack on the portal in Tokyo starts in less than an hour. If it works, the aliens will be distracted. Then we need to be ready," Nathan said. "We need to get to the nearest city with a communication tower." "That's Denver," Olivia said. "About 40 miles from here." Alan checked his phone. "I'll get us a helicopter and a team." In Tokyo, Jack and his team set off explosions in a pattern around the city. As the sun began to rise, they turned on the fake weapon. It glowed just like the real one. Alien machines immediately changed direction. Hundreds of them moved toward Jack's position. "It's working," Jack said into his radio. "Maya, they're coming toward us. The bay is clearing." In the submarine, Maya gave the order. "Full speed ahead. Get us close to that portal." The USS Defiance moved silently through the water toward the alien structure. It was massive, a ring of metal and light that reached from the bottom of the bay up into the sky. "Torpedoes ready," said the weapons officer. Maya watched through the periscope as alien ships moved away from the bay, heading toward Jack's distraction. Fire. The torpedoes shot from the submarine, racing toward the portal's base. Maya held her breath. In Denver, a helicopter landed on the roof of what used to be a skyscraper. Nathan, Olivia, and Alan got out, along with a team of soldiers. A few hundred feet away stood an alien communication tower, a spike of metal reaching into the clouds. "We need to get the weapon and signal device within 50 feet of it," Nathan shouted over the wind. Alan pointed to alien machines climbing the building toward them. "We've got company." The soldiers took positions, ready to fight. Olivia checked the signal device one last time. "It's now or never," she said. Nathan nodded and turned on the weapon. It glowed brighter than ever before, pulsing with blue light. Around the world, humanity waited to see if they would live or die. Humanity refused to kneel and burned the Empire's stars to ash. Part 4. The torpedoes hit the base of the alien portal in Tokyo Bay. The water exploded upward in huge waves. The submarine shook from the force. "Direct hit," shouted the weapons officer. Commander Maya Patel watched through the periscope. The portal seemed damaged. Parts of the metal ring broke off and fell into the water, but the center still glowed with strange purple light. "It's still working," Maya said. "We need to hit it again." "Commander, we have a problem," said her second-in-command. "Alien ships are turning back toward the bay. Our distraction didn't hold them long enough." Maya looked at the radar screen. Red dots moved quickly toward them. She made a hard choice. "Get us closer to the portal. We'll use the submarine itself." Her crew stared at her. "You mean?" one of them asked. "Yes. We're going to crash into at full power to the engines. Set the reactor to overload when we hit." The crew was silent for a moment. Then they began to work, setting the submarine on its final course. Maya picked up the radio. "Colonel Howard, can you hear me?" Jack's voice came through with sounds of battle in the background. "I hear you, Maya. Did it work?" "Not yet, but it will. Get your people out of there, Jack. That's an order." There was a pause. "You know I can't do that. We're surrounded." Maya closed her eyes for a moment. "Then we'll see each other again someday." "Save a seat for me," Jack said. The radio went silent. Maya turned to her crew. "Anyone who wants to use the escape pods, now is the time." No one moved. "Then let's finish this," she said. "For Earth." The submarine raced toward the alien portal at full speed. In Denver, Nathan held the alien weapon while Olivia connected it to the signal device. Alien machines were getting closer, climbing the building. "Hurry," Alan said. The soldiers fired at the machines, but their bullets just bounced off. "Almost there," Olivia said, typing quickly on her laptop. "The signal is ready. We just need to get closer to the alien tower." A soldier screamed as a machine grabbed him. More machines climbed over the edge of the roof. "We're out of time," Alan said. Nathan looked at the alien tower. It was still too far away. "We need to get closer." "I'll take it," said a soldier named Greg Jones. "I was a football player before all this. I can run fast." Before anyone could stop him, Greg grabbed the weapon and the signal device. He ran across the roof toward the alien tower. Machines turned to follow him. One fired a beam of light that hit Greg's leg. He fell, but kept crawling toward the tower. "He's not going to make it," Olivia said, her voice breaking. Nathan watched, holding his breath. Greg was 30 feet from the tower now, 20 feet. The machines were right behind him. With his last strength, Greg threw the weapon and signal device at the base of the tower. They landed just 10 feet away from it. "Now!" Nathan shouted into his radio. Olivia pressed a button on her laptop. The weapon lit up like a small sun. Blue light shot from it into the alien tower. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the tower began to pulse with the same blue light. The light spread up the tower and out across the sky. The alien machines on the roof suddenly stopped moving. They fell over like empty shells. "It's working," Alan said. "The virus is spreading through their network." All over the world, alien machines stopped working. In New York, London, Beijing, and 100 other cities, the metal creatures fell to the ground. In the ruins of the White House, Sam Miller watched in amazement as an alien ship crashed into the Potomac River. "What's happening?" Kelly asked. Sam couldn't stop smiling. "We're fighting back, and we're winning." In Tokyo Bay, Commander Maya Patel saw the alien ships above her suddenly lose power. They fell from the sky into the water. The portal's purple. Light flickered and went out. "It's Dr. Garcia's weapon," she said. It worked. Her crew cheered. Maya ordered the submarine to turn away from the portal. They wouldn't need to sacrifice themselves after all. "Commander," said her radio operator, "we're getting reports from all over the world. Alien machines are shutting down everywhere." Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Let's get back to base. We have a lot of work to do." In space, aboard the main Zarkarian ship, High Commander Vex watched in horror as his fleet lost power. Ship after ship went dark. The screens showing Earth went blank. "What is happening?" he demanded. His science officer looked up from a screen. "The humans. They're using the ancient weapon, the one that defeated us before." "Impossible. That was destroyed thousands of years ago. They found another one, and they've modified it. The disruption is spreading through our entire network." Vex slammed his fist on the control panel. "Disconnect us from the network, now." "It's too late," said the science officer. "The virus is already in our systems. We have minutes, maybe less." Vex looked at the last working screen, which showed Earth growing smaller as their ship drifted away. "Send a message to the Empire. Tell them what happened. Tell them to quarantine this entire sector. These humans are too dangerous." The lights on the bridge flickered and went out. Emergency lights came on, casting red shadows. "Message sent," said the communications officer, "but I don't know if it reached the Empire." Vex stared at the distant Earth. "They will pay for this. The Empire will return with a force they cannot imagine." The emergency lights went out. The ship was completely dark. On Earth, people came out of hiding. They looked up at the sky where alien ships hung lifeless. Some ships fell to Earth, crashing in remote areas. Others drifted away into space. In the underground lab in Colorado, Alan received reports from around the world. "It worked," he told Nathan and Olivia. "The alien machines are dead. The ships are powerless." Nathan looked tired, but happy. How long will it last? We don't know, Alan admitted. The virus might be temporary, and there are probably more ships coming. Then we better get ready, Olivia said. We know their weakness now. We can build more weapons like the one from Mars. Alan nodded. I'll tell the world leaders. We've won the battle, but the war might just be starting. Nathan looked at the alien weapon, now dark and quiet. At least now we have hope. And the Empire knows something they didn't know before. What's that? Asked Olivia. Nathan smiled. Humanity doesn't kneel. Humanity refused to kneel and burned the Empire's stars to ash. Part 5. 1 year passed since humanity's first victory against the Zarkarian Empire. Earth was still broken but healing. Cities were being rebuilt. Fields were growing food again. People had hope. Alan Wright stood on the roof of the new United Nations building in Geneva. The old one had been destroyed in the war. This one was different. Parts of alien ships had been used to build it, a reminder of what humans could do when pushed too far. Beautiful view, said Samantha Reeves as she joined him. She was still the Secretary General, now leading the world's recovery. I was just thinking about how far we've come, Alan said. A year ago we were hiding underground. Samantha nodded. And now we're reaching for the stars. Below them, people worked on new buildings. In the distance, a ship took off from the airport. It wasn't a normal airplane. It was built with alien technology, designed to travel into space. Is Nathan ready? For the meeting? Samantha asked. As ready as he'll ever be, Alan replied. He doesn't like being away from his lab. They went inside where world leaders waited in a large room. Nathan Garcia stood at the front, looking nervous. Olivia Chen sat nearby with computers and screens. Dr. Garcia, we're ready to hear your report, said Samantha. Nathan cleared his throat. As you know, we've been studying the alien technology from the ships left behind. We've learned how their faster-than-light drives work. We've started building our own ships. He showed pictures on a big screen of factories where new ships were being made. We've also improved the weapon that saved us, Nathan continued. We call it the Prometheus device now. It's smaller and stronger than before. Olivia pressed some buttons and a small blue ball appeared on the table. It glowed softly. This device can protect a ship from the Empire's weapons, Nathan said. We've put them on all our new defense satellites. What about the alien message? Asked the leader of Russia. Nathan looked grave. We intercepted a message sent from the main ship before it lost power. They called for reinforcements. They told the Empire to quarantine our solar system because we're dangerous. The room was quiet for a moment. When will they come? Asked the President of the United States. We don't know exactly, Nathan admitted. The Empire is far away, maybe hundreds of light years. But they will come, and they'll bring their full power this time. How can we possibly win against that? Asked someone. Colonel Jack Howard stood up. He had survived the battle in Tokyo, though he now walked with a limp. The same way we won before. We fight. We don't give up. But we can do more than just defend Earth this time, said Commander Maya Patel. She had become a hero after the battle in Tokyo Bay. We can take the fight to them. She showed a map of nearby stars. We've detected Zarkarian outposts on these planets, small bases not heavily defended. Our new ships can reach them. You want to attack the Empire? Asked the Chinese leader, sounding shocked. Not the entire Empire, Maya said. Just these outposts. We can test our new ships and weapons, learn more about them, and show them that Earth is not an easy target. Admiral Liz Powell spoke up. I support this plan. We can't just wait for them to come back. We need to be ready. Samantha looked around the room. This is a big decision. We would be taking human weapons into space for the first time. They brought their weapons to us, Jack said. They didn't give us a choice. The debate continued for hours. Finally, Samantha called for a vote. The decision was made. Earth would build a fleet and take the fight to the stars. 6 months later, Maya Patel stood on the bridge of a new ship. It was called the Phoenix, built from human and alien technology. It was the first ship of Earth's new space fleet. "All systems are ready, Commander," said her first officer, a young man named Frank Adams. "The crew is prepared for jump." Maya looked at the screen showing Earth growing smaller behind them. 10 ships flew together, carrying the best soldiers and scientists Earth had to offer. "Send the message to Earth Command," Maya ordered. Frank nodded. "Message sent. They wish us good hunting." Maya turned to her crew. "Today we make history. We're the first humans to take the fight beyond our solar system. The Empire thinks we're just a small problem they can crush. They're wrong." She touched a button on her chair. "All ships prepare for light jump." The stars on the screen blurred and stretched. The ship shuddered slightly. Then they were moving faster than light, headed toward the first Zarkarian outpost. On a distant planet called Vorlak, at the edge of the Empire, an alien named Zenthar received a strange report. "What do you mean the outpost isn't responding?" he asked the messenger. "It's gone, sir," said the messenger. "The entire base on Proxima 3 has been destroyed." Zenthar's 4 arms moved in patterns of distress. "How? That system was supposed to be secure." "We don't know exactly. But before it was destroyed, they sent this image." A screen showed a ship that didn't look like any Empire design. It had smooth lines and blue lights along its hull. "What is that?" Zenthar asked. "Analysis suggests it's human, sir. From Earth." Zenthar stared at the image. "That's impossible. Earth is under quarantine. Their system is blocked." "Apparently not, sir. And there's more. 2 other outposts have gone silent, all in the same sector." Zenthar felt fear for the first time in his long life. "Send word to the High Command. Tell them the humans have left their world. They're attacking us." "Yes, sir. What should we do about the quarantine fleet?" Zenthar looked at the image of the human ship again. "Double it, triple it, and pray it's enough." On the Phoenix, Maya received the report from the second outpost. It, too, had fallen easily to Earth's new weapons. The Prometheus devices had shut down all Zarkarian technology before they could even fight back. "Where to next, Commander?" asked Frank. Maya looked at the star map. Little by little, they were pushing into Empire space. "The Sirius outpost, it's bigger. They might have warning by now." "The crew is ready," Frank said. "Everyone knows the mission?" Maya nodded. "Let them know we're coming." As the Phoenix prepared to jump again, Maya thought about Earth, now far behind them. They had changed in just a year and a half. From a planet under attack to the beginnings of a space power. The Empire had made a mistake. They thought humans would be easy to conquer. They thought humans would kneel before their power. They were wrong. Humanity didn't just refuse to kneel. They had gotten up. They had taken the fight to the stars. And now, step by step, they would burn the Empire's stars to ash. The Phoenix jumped into light speed, carrying humanity's revenge to the stars.